it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you drink. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good, beer is good, beer is good. It's good, beer is good, beer is good, beer is good. Let's go drink some beer.
Hey guys, welcome back to the We Watch a Movie Podcast. I'm Mike.
I'm Dangerous. I'm Jay. Welcome back. We're getting crazy right now.
We're drinking beer.
Because
drinking beer responsibly, of course. Always drink responsibly.
You don't drive.
No.
You don't drive unless you really have to go somewhere and get more beer.
Still don't drive.
That's a complete...
That was a lie.
That was irrational. No, I drink beer when I am sad, and it makes me glad because, well, let's talk about the Evil Dead. Let's start this shit up.
Okay, well, let's first off, what did you do this week?
Well, I watched Evil Dead.
It's been like a week and a half, really, since we've done it. Sorry about that.
We're lazy.
We get busy. We get busy on it. Get busy on that dick.
We have a life.
Wait a minute. Did I just say that we get busy on that dick?
I'm not. I didn't say that.
I didn't mean to say
you
that.
Said that.
I didn't mean to say that. Well, let's start off.
What do you think?
Well,
what are you doing?
I don't know.
Sim City.
No, this week I haven't had really. I picked up some extra shifts at work. That's boring.
Well,
yeah, no, I've watched a shitload of movies. I can tell you that. I've watched a lot of movies. What have you been doing?
Played a game.
You played a game?
I played a game, and let's see. I did watch Evil Dead the remake, I watched that. We obviously reviewed that, but I also watched the Evil Dead the original movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I played BioShock Infinite. I beat that. Mm-hmm. It was amazing.
Did you like it?
I replayed Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I enjoy it.
What would you give BioShock out of 10?
BioShock Infinite, I'd probably give that like a 9.0.
Really?
It was a solid fucking story, man, and it left me crying at the end.
Did you actually cry?
No, but I wanted to.
Did you use your own tears as
lubrication? The guy's name was Booker D. Witt, and I formed a relationship with him. I was like, you know what? I feel your pain. I understand what's happening now.
No, I didn't do shit this week. I spent the whole day yesterday making movie reviews by myself.
Yeah, how's that
asshole.
Going? You
weren't even there to help me. No, I'm gonna be doing.
What are you, Martin Scorsese? You need like a fucking. You need a fucking. What's the guy that wrote the books in Godfather?
Francis Coppola? No, that wasn't the guy that wrote the book.
What?
I don't remember his name. I don't remember
Scarface.
his name right now. You're making us look illegitimate.
We are illegitimate.
No, I'm filming on Weekly on WeLiveFilm.com. If you guys haven't checked that out, you still got to go check that out, by the way. On the We Live Film YouTube page. I'll be on there by my lonesome.
I'm proud of you.
By my lonesome each week doing Netflix reviews. So if you guys miss the Netflix reviews once a week on Wednesday, there'll be a couple of those up. But that's what I've been doing. I've been watching Netflix.
We'll talk about the Netflix reviews because you're doing Netflix reviews for We Live Film,
right?
Which is a great site. But we'll be bringing Netflix nuggets.
Yeah, we'll still be doing Netflix nuggets every once in a while. But it's just if you need some extra fill.
Well, when you dip your nugget into the sauce, you gotta get your fill. If you need some sauce bouse, if you want to be fat and you want to go to KFC and get the double decker,
those McDonald's.
Have you ever had one?
A double decker?
No, not double decker. The shit they have at KFC with the fucking fried chicken and
I ate one once where it's like there's no bun.
How are you alive?
It's just 2 pieces of fried chicken. I ate it.
Did you eat the whole thing?
It's actually healthier if you think about it.
No, it's
yeah,
not.
It is, dude, because you're not getting the carbs from that bun.
You're literally substituting buns for fried chicken and then putting bacon, cheese, and tomato and shit in the middle.
So don't judge me.
I'm not. But how's it healthier?
It actually wasn't very good, though. I felt sick afterwards. No, it's healthier because you don't have the carbs from the bun.
Did you like
white
cry?
bread is the enemy.
I know, but did you cry when your idiot's like, I just hate my life. Fuck it.
No.
Well, that's good that you didn't.
I was at work.
Because if you had cried, I would have cried, and we all would have cried, and Steven would have got mad.
It'll be anarchy.
Fuck it.
But all right, so movie news, guys. Let's get it started with the movie news. Evil Dead and Jurassic Park had a great time at the box office this week, and we'll get to our thoughts on Evil Dead later. We got a lot of hate for that, but that's okay.
Calm down there.
That's just all right in our eyes.
It is,
you got to be honest.
We'll talk about the kind of the flack that we've gotten for our honest review.
Yeah, so the remake of Evil Dead landed in first place this week with $26 million over the weekend. Mama actually made $28 million. It was just surprising that did better.
Because Mama knows best.
Yeah, but I mean, we went to a theater to see Evil Dead and it was sold out. We had to go to the second theater.
Oh, I know, it sucked.
I thought it would.
We went to our theater in Lexington that allows you to drink, and I thought I was gonna have to get nice and soused for this movie, and it sucked because it was sold out. So I had to go basically sober to go see Evil Dead. But that's okay because you had to be sober to see it, and then you get. Actually, if I'd been drunk, I might have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing, though.
Well, let's not get into the debate about that.
No, we'll talk about that later. But it is good news, though. I mean, just regardless of our thoughts on Evil Dead, it's good to know that it made enough money so that we're going to get sequels, and Sam Raimi's going to do Evil Dead 4, Army Darkness
Bruce
2.
Campbell, and
so I mean, that's all good news. And number 2 was G.I. Joe, came in with like 21 million. Number 3 was The Croods, so kids movies always do great. With 21 million, and then Jurassic Park 3D had a good weekend for a re-release. It's 18 million over
coming
the
in number 4. The thing is, you wonder how much, like, because these movies aren't really, except for The Croods, aren't really original in their own self. I mean, G.I. Joe is basing its success off the name. Evil Dead is obviously on the name. And even Jurassic Park is a re-release.
Well, what do you think about these Jurassic Park re-releases? Because I mean,
I think they're dying. I think it's stupid as fuck.
You can't say that though, because I mean,
I know people are going to see. Because I mean, I want to be scared shitless by a Tyrannosaurus Rex and say must go faster.
Yeah,
I want to see that too. But at the same time, I'm like, you've dug the mine as much as you can dig it.
Well, for me, it's like I would
dig it. Life's a garden.
If I didn't have anything to do and someone brought me tickets for it, I would enjoy going to see it. But it's one of those things. I've seen it. I'm not going to make it a priority to go see Jurassic Park 3, especially when the new Evil Dead just came out.
How do you know that?
Go see
well,
that.
A lot of those ticket sales could be maybe kids that never got to see it, and then their parents.
And that's pretty cool. I thought about taking my 3-year-old to see it, but I thought it might
scare
her.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Much. She's
that's
rough,
scary.
dude. She's tough.
Don't get crazy.
She's tough. I took her to see Oz, and she still tells people like the storyline.
I know.
She gives reviews.
I listen to it. She's better than us.
Yeah. But no, so that's that.
Fuck it. She just had the whole show. I'm jealous.
No, Film Fan Pete is a great review. If you guys haven't seen him, check him out. Him and his daughter do movie reviews for like kids Blu-rays and stuff like that. And it's really good. She's cute as a button. But no, all right, so next up we got sad news for you today. Roger Ebert, I mean, I'm sure as many of you as...
He didn't die today.
No, but I'm sure many of you have heard, I can't talk. Roger Ebert...
That's not new.
died at 70 years old after his battle with cancer, and that's sad as shit, man.
Roger Ebert was one of those guys that pioneered the whole fucking shtick.
Well, yeah.
He basically... like gave room for like people like us and other people like to do the reviews.
Yeah, well, I read an article. It's like he was the first one to actually make it like user friendly. I mean, he was the first one, like the thumbs up rating. A lot of like artsy fartsy movie critics that like saw movie critique as an art were pissed off when they came out with that show with him and Siskel.
Yeah.
Was it Siskel was the first one?
Yeah, Siskel was the first one.
And they got pissed off because they're like, you're downgrading it to a thumbs up and it's an art form and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? Everybody says that can go fuck themselves.
Well, I wish we had come up with something like that. Fuck it.
Yeah. If
we have a 10-point scale. So.
But no, I mean, Roger Ebert is the reason that we're able to do what we do. And I have a couple of his like movie yearbooks or whatever where it's got like all of his reviews in it. And like... I enjoyed his reviews. He was... his take on movies was always so outside of what everybody else did.
I think he was... But I don't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. But it wasn't outside of everybody else's opinion just to be outside of everybody else's opinion. Like, you could tell his genuine thoughts on movies. And he was just... I mean, he is movie reviews. Like, Roger Ebert is movie reviews.
I think Roger Ebert was one of those guys that was a lightning rod for a lot of the movie reviews, because he would give a movie that everybody else was like loving and just nonstop ejaculating over. That's right, I said ejaculating. And he would say it sucked. So deal with it.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Deal with it! Thumbs up your butt hole! I'm going to take your anus and make it a peephole, he says. He would just do it. And then, movies that nobody heard of, he would give you that information, say it's a great movie, you guys should check it out. He would give the little person time in the spotlight too. Yeah, like you could always tell regardless of what he was doing, he wasn't doing anything for promotion or whatever. It was all like genuine feeling, and you gotta respect that. You gotta respect him. I mean, he's like, that'd be like Michael Jordan dying if we were basketball players, man. I mean, for what we do, like that's huge, and that's sad. I hate it. It sucks because he announced that he had his cancer back, and then like 3 days later he died.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd already gone through the shit. He'd already gone through the fucking ringer. Because, I mean, he had his jaw removed. He thought it was gone. And then all of a sudden it comes back. And 3 days later... I mean, what would you do if you had 3 days left?
I don't know.
Like, if you knew for a fact you had 3 days left, what would you do?
I have no idea.
You really don't know?
Think about that right now.
I would fuck as much as I could.
I don't know. But no, it
is sad. It's a devastating loss to the movie reviews.
Yeah, and it's a sad day for the movie world.
What's Roper going to do?
Well, they haven't been doing it together for a while.
Well, fuck Roper. I mean, it's like Roper at the movies. Like, wrote me a fucking review.
That's weird, though. I mean, like, it's weird that he's gone now. Like, who becomes, like, the number one, like, overall...
You know what I think his death is? It's kind of like a shocking death. It's just like it's like one of those things like you say Michael Jackson died. I mean, whether or not you are a fan or hated Michael Jackson, or whatever, it's just one of those big blows to like the pop culture.
It really is. It's super sad. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
you depressed me. I need to drink more.
I don't know. Yeah, it's sad, man.
Beer makes me happy.
But yeah.
So what's next?
So we got Morse Chestnut getting ready to play Marvel's Black Panther.
So is he black?
He's
No,
black.
I love comic books. Black Panther is one of those guys in the characters in the comic books that was a staunch Avenger. He was a great character, and I think it's great that they're going to line him up for a film. I think a Black Panther movie would be great. I mean, you got Wakanda, the Kingdom of Wakanda. You got T'Challa, which is the Black Panther's real name, the King of Wakanda. I just think the story would be awesome. I can't wait for it.
I mean, it's a pretty cool idea. I mean, it's the first like black superhero since Blade, right?
I know. Well, Spawn was around that. He was before Blade, I think.
Hancock, but that doesn't even count.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? It's actually interesting about Black Panther, and I know they could tie it in with it. The vibranium that is used in Captain America's shield comes from Wakanda. Wakanda's main export, their main like thing that makes them in a great economy, is fucking vibranium.
Yeah.
And people are trying to always steal it.
So they could tie that in with Captain.
Yeah, they always do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not official. It's not official word yet. What it says here is that it would be one of the Phase 3 movies. Phase 2 is getting ready to come up with Captain America 2, Iron Man 2, or Iron Man 3, Thor 2, all that stuff. But apparently Ant-Man's been confirmed, which that's the one I'm most excited about.
I know. I just want to go in on Ant-Man really quick.
Okay.
I have no issues with Ant-Man. Like Ant-Man, and Ant-Man is the same as Giant Man. He's the same guy. Mm-hmm. Hank Pym, Henry Pym is the character. I'm kind of thinking at the same time, like, I just don't know why Ant-Man would have his own movie. He's a cool character, and I like him, and he's got some depth to him in the comics. Yeah. But at the same time, I really don't think he can carry a blockbuster title. I just don't. I think he's just a good character supporting role in the Avengers.
I see both sides of it. They're going to have to make it really interesting because people don't know who that is. Like the general public.
He's married to Janet Van Dyne, which turns out to be the Wasp.
Yeah.
He helps her get her powers. And there's a lot
But he's such a dick, though.
He is an asshole. He thinks he's genius, which he is. He's a smart guy. He's a smart fucking guy. But at the same time, he's also one of those guys that knows he's smart and tells everybody that he's smart. And he's obsessed with making sure I'm always right kind of guy.
Yeah. And that's going to be an interesting dynamic when you put him with
But I just don't think he works by himself. I think he has to have a supporting cast around him to work.
I think you might be right, but it's interesting to see. I'll give it a chance. I mean, it could be great. I am excited.
Any Marvel movie that's coming out right now under the Marvel Studios logo, I'm down for it. Because they've done such a great job.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, Doctor Strange is supposed to make
that movie, Doctor Strange, if it's done right, could be fucking phenomenal. They got to make it dark. They got to make it. I mean, you're dealing with the mystic arts. You're dealing with Dormammu, or however you say his name, one of the main villains of Doctor Strange. That's basically like hell and shit like that. And he's dealing with all this crazy shit. I mean, he's not going to look at a cat like in Constantine and like transport himself to hell, but it's like a lot of dark shit. You know who could always be a guest appearance of Doctor Strange? Ghost Rider.
Really?
Because they all tie in together.
You know better than I do.
I'm excited for it, dude. I think that they make it like. I think if they make it totally dark and scary, I'll give it an R rating. That's what I would do with Doctor Strange. I'd make it an R.
I don't know anything about Doctor Strange. I'm a mainstream comic book fan.
He's a strange guy. He's a strange guy.
I bet he is strange.
He's
but
strange.
No. So it's not official, though, that Morris Chestnut will be doing that. What it is that he put on his Facebook recently that he posted on Facebook, he said, featuring the cover art of one of the Black Panther comics, and he said it's time to get familiar with the Black Panther character. And that's all we know right now. But, I mean, why would you post that if you weren't at least in the running for it?
Maybe he was just trying to be a dick because he got turned down. I need fan support.
Yeah, but if you don't know who Morris Chestnut is, if you watch The Call with Halle Berry, he was like her cop, like lover, boyfriend, or whatever.
Been in other stuff.
Had a tiny little role in that. He's been in a lot of stuff. So
he looks like him though, based on the picture that we're looking at. I could totally see him as King of Wakanda, Black Panther.
I could see that. Why? Because he's black.
Why you gotta be racist?
No, I'm just saying you are. No, okay.
Why am I racist?
So the next story up would be Robert De Niro and Edgar Ramirez are teaming up to do a movie about the boxer Robert Duran in a movie called Hands of Stone.
Robert Duran is a great fighter. If you guys follow boxing at all, he's like one of the best fighters. Strong as fuck. hands were literally made of stone.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I love boxing movies. Could be my favorite movie genre. Like The Fighter, I watch that movie all the time.
That's your favorite?
Not my favorite boxing movie of all time.
No, boxing would. Yeah, I could see that.
Favorite boxing movie of all time would be Rocky IV.
Yeah, that's totally.
And it's got to be what it is.
I must break you.
But no, Robert De Niro. He was in Raging Bull, and there's also a movie coming out I think this summer with him and Sylvester Stallone as like a jokey like old man like grudge match.
I can see that. That totally works.
Fighting each other, and then he's doing this one. So he's
what I'm concerned with is I'm gonna like really look at the tone of this new movie that he's gonna do with Roberto Duran.
Yeah.
Because
I think that'll be a serious tone. He's going to be the trainer.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, he's going to be the trainer because Robert De Niro, like I love Robert De Niro is one of those guys that could be in anything just about and fucking make it cool. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he can't be the boxer anymore. He's old as shit.
He's going to be in Grudge Match, but that's the point.
Well, that's the point. Yeah. It's going to be like a comedy.
But no, he's going to be the trainer. Edgar Ramirez is going to be the boxer. But I'm excited for any kind of boxing movie news. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the world will ever have enough boxing movies. So that's that, and then we've got this is bad news for everyone. Haunted House. A Haunted House sequel is coming this winter.
How the frick? It's a haunted movie review.
I don't even understand. We got a lot of hate.
I know, and I don't understand that, guys. Like, you know what? I know that you guys, like, I'm not saying that all you listeners hated us on that, but A Haunted House was really stupid. And I'm sorry. I mean, if you liked it, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you liked it. But really, if you think about the whole plot, the way it was acted, the little parodies were just friggin' dumb.
Yeah, I didn't realize it did this well, but I mean, you can't really blame them for doing it because the movie cost $2.5 million to make, and in its first week, guess what it made? Take a wild guess.
10 cents.
No,
I have no
That's
idea.
what it deserved to make.
Pennies in the bucket.
It made $18 million.
Get the fuck back, Jack.
I'm serious.
You ain't leading but two things right now: Jack and shit, and Jack left town.
So Open Road Films has already secured distribution rights to it, but that is like why?
Well,
it was bad.
They made some money on it, so maybe it didn't cost that much to make.
Yeah, it's a money thing. Maybe.
Marlon Wayans is a comedic. His timing is great.
Yeah.
I just think he was in the wrong movie for this one. Maybe they just think that he can. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment. I think Haunted House sucked, but the sequel, maybe he redeemed himself.
But how is it not the same exact thing as Scary Movie 5, Scary Movie 6?
I don't know. I will admit, in my opinion, I think the whole parody thing has been done, and they just really there's nothing really new or original that's come out.
I mean, technically, you could do one every year because all the new movies that come out to make fun of it. It's like Scary Movie 5
when
is getting ready to come out. They still have jokes from Black Swan in that. Like it was filmed so long ago that the jokes are fucking dated.
What if you made like parody movies like episodic, like put them on TV? Kind of tone them down.
I'd be down for that.
Kind of tone them down
because it is TV shit. Like the Haunted House, like could have been funny, but it was so like far gone.
What if you did?
We laugh every time I fart. I laugh. I laugh my ass off like an idiot.
And dick jokes are always good.
Yeah, but this movie it went so far. I was like, this is even childish for me. And when you're saying it's childish for me, dude, that's sad.
For us,
yeah,
bitch.
Sorry.
Like, say it right. I'm saying like episodic. What if you did it not on TV because maybe it's too much. But what if you did like HBO or Primetime Network? You know, something like that. We had to pay for it. It could work.
I could see that. Yeah, sure. Why not? Sure. Why
not?
Just
do it?
Yeah. But okay, so our last news story of the day is going to be Bryan Singer has teased his the latest X-Men movie with a pic of Beast and what Beast is going to look like.
In Days of Future Past is what the rumor is. That the rumor or is that the actual?
No, it is. It's Days of Future Past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Days of Future Past I'll be honest with you. It came out in 1981, and I've never read the graphic novels, which collected all the issues in the comics. I know what it's about. It's about, mutants being put into camps and the Sentinels rule the world, basically, and Kitty Pryde, which is Shadowcat, goes into the future and warns the X-Men of what's going to happen. That's cool and everything, but I think Bryan Singer is one of those guys, like, he's really hit or miss.
Yeah, I agree with that totally. And looking at this picture, I mean, what do you think about it? It's unknown yet if it's actually Nicholas Hoult in the makeup. But
it looks like Beast is saying, "Are you going to see my movie?" Like it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't detail. It's not like
it's not too different.
Yeah, it's not like groundbreaking or like attention grabber. It's just a blue face with a yellow orange eye. That's like, I took a dump in your room and I don't care. I don't know. It just doesn't say anything.
I don't think it looks like Nicholas Hoult.
You know what I would do if I was Bryan Singer? If I wanted to redeem myself into comic book fans, I would make the Age of Apocalypse. Apocalypse is a character, a villain that has never.
I would do Onslaught.
Onslaught would be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But I would say that for the Marvel Phase 3. I would have Marvel and X-Men team up in Phase 3 and fucking fight Onslaught.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's neither here. It doesn't excite
me. I just don't think it's very good.
I'll see it, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Would you rather have Nicholas Hoult as Beast or Kelsey Grammer's version of Beast?
That's a good one. I think Kelsey Grammer did okay with what he had.
I personally would choose Kelsey Grammer. Nicholas Hoult was fine. It's just he was so kiddish.
Kelsey Grammer had that right attitude for it.
Yeah. So that's that, and that's movie news for the week, guys. Let us know what your thoughts are on the stories below. Next up, we've got trailers. So what did I forgot? Let me look this up here. We asked you guys last week to name the trailers for us, and let's see what we've got. Let's see what the options are, and we'll pick one before we name it. Okay. How does that sound to your...
It doesn't sound good, Mike.
How does that sound to
you
your
take forever to load it?
No, I'm not.
What is that? That's Spring Breakers picture, which is sexual. I'm glad you picked that picture.
I put that picture on everything because they're so hot.
I know, they're all hot.
I'm going to go with the first one I saw because it's by Cobster Reviews, which we'll have a question from Cobster later. You guys got to check out his channel. He's an awesome movie reviewer. We'll put it in the link below. But Cobster Reviews, I'm just going to go with his first off because it's the best one I've seen. You guys should call trailers titty trailers takeout time.
That would be fun. I like that.
So it's time for titty trailers takeout time.
How many boobies have you seen? So I like the way you move, sir.
First up in titty trailers is going to be the Man of Steel TV spot.
There's not many. There's man nipples.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Man of Steel. I'm actually really excited for Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! But I mean, what the TV spot though? I mean, what did you think about that? It aired last night during the national championship game.
Yeah, Louisville won. Man of Steel, the TV spot looks like the Man of Steel trailer with a little bit of extended notion.
That's pretty much the same shit.
You know what? I was excited when it came out on a teaser. I'm excited when it came out on the more of a full length trailer. I'm just as excited with the TV spot. I think it's going to be a great movie. I think that. I'm not so sure about Henry Cavill because we watched Cold Light of Day, which fucking sucked balls.
Yeah.
But if they have the right director and they have the right producers and they have the right cast around him with Russell Crowe and Kevin Costner and Sally Fields as Martha Kent, I think it could really relaunch DC.
Oh yeah.
Other than the Dark Knight with Christopher Nolan.
I'm not sold at all on Henry Cavill, man.
Henry Cavill's scary.
Nothing that he's done has. Oh fuck!
Oh, scary business.
Yeah, but no, nothing he's done has made me excited for him to play Superman. But I will say, the people involved with the movie, the rest of the cast, the trailer, how everything looks, it looks like Superman's going to be just as big as Batman has become with the whole.
It's kind of like they all know it's kind of like they all know how much work is going into this Man of Steel and how much DC is hinging on this movie to make a Justice League, segue. I think the director and the producers and even friggin' not Hugh Jackman, but Russell Crowe, because they remind me of each other, is like, Henry Cavill, if you don't act this fucking movie right, I will kill your family.
Yeah.
And then he's like, really? He's like, I won't kill your family, but I will.
Yeah. It's like, look what happened to Brandon Routh. He's dead.
Is he dead?
No, but you wouldn't know that because who gives a fuck what Brandon Routh is doing?
He's Ruthie.
Baby Ruth.
He has a Ruthie. I have high hopes for it. I think it could be really good. I think the cinematography on it and what they've done with the special effects, just him flying, is fucking amazing. It brought a tear to my eye, and I was like, I want to fly in the clouds one day.
You cry a lot.
I cry all the time. I sit in the bathroom and I just cry about hunger, about things that we can fix. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Grow your beard.
All right, so next up we got the Purge, a horror movie trailer starring Ethan Hawke. What this is if you haven't seen it, you should totally watch it. But one night a year, crime is down and everything's down. Unemployment's down.
Yeah, it's like 1%.
Really? I didn't see that part. But no, crime is down, and it's because one night a year, they let the criminals have 12 hours to commit any crime they want, burden free, do what you want to do, 12 hours
I thought you said
a year.
Bird and free.
Bird and free. Free the bird.
Let it go from the cage.
But no, so it kind of reminds me of Panic Room. The way Ethan Hawke's in there with his family, and they lock their shit down, and they're stuck in there while these people are trying to get in. This movie, I think it's a cool-ass idea. It's completely unrealistic, but it's still a pretty cool-ass idea. I'm going to rate my excitement for this movie on about an 8 out of 10.
That's a really high. I don't know, man. I'm kind of reserved on it. It looks good. The trailers do. Ethan Hawke's a fabulous actor. I think he's great.
He carried Sinister.
Fabulous.
It's still fabulous.
Richard Simmons time. I just think that it's a Panic Room mixed with The Strangers, which could be cool.
I see that.
Because, in the trailer anyway, when they tell them to let the guy that they have sheltering in their house go, he's wearing a Richard Nixon mask.
Yeah.
But they have business suits on, so they're normal people with jobs. But at the same time, I think it could be really bad.
It could be bad.
I think it could be one of those movies that are a complete rip-off of other movies and just boring and...
See, I think it's really original.
But you're mixing Panic Room and Strangers.
Yeah.
It just seems like... It could be boring, but it could be great. I just don't see any original idea to it.
I'll give you that. And speaking of The Strangers, this one really reminds me of The Strangers.
Yeah,
the trailer for Your Next. Both these trailers premiered before Evil Dead, and Your Next involves there's a family having a.
I don't want to be next.
You are next.
I want to be last.
Remember that MTV show Next? Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I remember.
They would have a bus full. They would have a guy or a girl, and the guy or the girl would be standing outside, and they'd have a bus full of suitors, and they would step out on the bus.
Oh yeah,
and they would
I hated that show.
At any point in the date. They
say next.
The person up could say next, and in the date right there, and the person has to go back to the bus. They bring out the next.
You know what
person.
I hated about the show?
What?
Was the bitches. Because if you had a really hot girl on there and you were kind of like okay looking, you were average, you're like next, like fuck you, whore. You get so mad. Like I would get mad for them because they would be like, okay, cool. Like I remember watching one episode of this really hot blonde girl, like with big boobies and everything. She was just down, dynamite.
trailer time.
Dynamite, just down for it. And this guy like looked like Peter Parker in like the 1963 premiere with the glasses. He's really skinny. Got off the bus, and he was a really nice guy in the pre-interviews. Got off, ready to go. Probably have a show or a great time. She's like, next. He didn't even say. And he was like, okay, cool. And he just turned back around. I was like, why didn't you just be like, fuck you, you're ugly anyway, bitch?
That's what some of them did.
Some of them did do that.
Some of them be like,
proud
I
of
don't
them.
want to date with you anyway, you ugly bitch.
I was proud of them.
Yeah, no. Sometimes they would do that. The guys were actually. I gotta be honest here.
The
guys were worse to the girls than the girls were to the guys.
I won't say that. Yeah,
but what would you do? What if you were there and you're like, I'm on this show and I got like 10 possibilities sitting in this bus,
There's
and
5.
you know some of them are hot.
Yeah, there's like 5. Yeah,
you know some of them are hot, and this girl steps off and she's just busted. Would you at least go on one date with her and make it seem like it was an emotional reason why you said next, or would you just go ahead and save your time?
Well, I guess that would depend on as a guy, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but as a guy, it would depend on how much I've drank, what time of day it was, and whether we're going to get it on. If she was kind of busted, I'd be like...
So what you're saying is you would be down if the chick was down to put out...
No,
even if she was unattractive.
How busted? Are we talking about Elephant Man busted?
No, just talking about like unattractive generally.
All right, I'd be like... I'd give her a chance. Because sometimes... you know what? That's a misconception.
You'd give her a good old college try?
Personality sometimes makes up for shitty looks. I will say that sometimes.
That.
Because guys are misunderstood. Personality sometimes it fucking works.
I agree.
We know a girl that's not the best looking in the world, but she's got a great personality, and we do her. So, not together, not at the same time, but we do her. We take turns. I'll go first. But I'm just saying...
I'm not taking your sloppy seconds.
You will do it!
Fuck that.
Or you will be facing the wrath of Magneto in the comics. But I'm just saying, I would probably give her a chance, and then... I'd say next. I'm saying,
what if she got off the bus and no matter how good her personality was,
I know,
you knew there was no way you were going to be attracted to
if she was busted as fuck and she got off the bus and I was like, holy shit! But in my brain, I would say that. I would say it out loud. I would say, I'm going to be nice. And so this is on national TV. I'm going to be nice. But I'm going to say, I'll give you a chance. You know, just maybe not even a chance, just to fucking wow yourself on TV, and then I'd be like, next, after the end of the day.
Yeah. I would wait. I would totally play that card, dude. I'd be like, no, she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then like halfway through the first date, I'd be like, what? You like cucumbers? I can't do this.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be a good one.
But you know what? I remember one episode where a guy, like, I think he had 5 suitorettes, and they were all fucking busted.
Really?
Like, there wasn't one on there that was even remotely attractive.
I saw one girl pee her pants.
Well, I know, but one was like Kim Kardashian if she got pierced in the face by people that didn't know what they were doing. Like, just fucking nasty shit, dude. And she was, like, anorexic. He, like, went through all of them, dude. Like,
oh, my God, dude. We didn't even talk about this.
I know. Well, let me explain what happened at the end of it, dude. He was on his 5th suitor or whatever. I think it was 5 or 10, whatever. It was the last suitor. And he was like, next. And they're like, there's no more. And he was like, well, I wound up with no dates. And I would be so pissed at MTV. I was like, what the fuck? Who is screening this shit? Like, I would tell that to the cameras. Like, obviously MTV is stupid. You're dumb.
Is this what you think I am?
Some people have actually said, like, do you think I'm worth this?
This is going back to what we did this week, but I've got to do it. I'm sorry. I know it's going to screw the whole show up. But we didn't even talk about Party Bus, dude.
Oh, Party Bus.
We had Party Bus ourselves.
It's like the Magic School Bus, but for adults.
I guess this is, technically, it's 2 weeks ago, isn't it? We just didn't ever talk about it.
You know what the bad thing is? That we've just been talking about this. We can't edit this and go back.
I know. That's all right, though. We're going to talk
about it. So rewind it, guys. This is early on.
Yeah, so as far as...
What was the last thought we had? What were we talking about next?
We'll continue that in a second.
All right.
So I got to talk about this now.
All right, just so you know, we're talking about your next. So, all right.
Yeah, that's what's up next. But no, so we're going to go one morning, and we went to, me and Jay and our wives, so we go to Cracker Barrel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have a nice.
What's that?
We have a nice friendly breakfast.
It's a barrel of crack
on like a Friday morning. We have breakfast, then we're going to go see The Host in the afternoon, which Jay and I have absolutely zero interest to see this movie. We're going to see it for his wife. And I know none of you guys have an interest in hearing it reviewed, which is why we didn't review it. But we're going to go see it, and like we got done and we left, and I'd had a couple of old vodka and screwdrivers, or just a screwdriver, vodka and orange juice. And
Tavarsky.
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. I felt like Denzel Washington in Flight. And I was.
You didn't flip the car upside down though and drive it home.
No, and don't worry, guys. We had a sober driver. We were not drinking and driving. But what we decided to do was, I was like, "Hey, Chelsea," which is Jay's wife. I was like, instead of going to see The Host, why don't we just call this the party bus and drive around having us a good old time? So that's what we decided to do. We ended up driving from Lexington. I'm dying. To Louisville, and we get to Louisville. And we go to Hard Rock Cafe because Jay's never been there.
It was sweet. It was a cafe that was a rockin' hard.
It was pretty cool, but we had like 3 drinks, and it was like $50.
Yeah, fuck that.
And the bartender was kind of a D-bag.
He was a douche, dude.
Yeah.
Don't even fucking say kind of. He was a douche.
I wanted to like get a cool drink because we're at Hard Rock. You know, I was just get something weird and different. And I'm like, "Hey, what specials do you have?" He's like, "None."
No, yeah, this fucker was like,
"Fuck yourself."
Yeah, he was like, he was like Batman. No. But if he did, that'd be cooler. I'd give him a higher rating. If he was like, "What do you want?"
But no, like, do you have any specials? I'm like, "Where were the other drugs going?"
It's like, I don't know. And then you could say your kids don't like falafel. But no, he was like, Mike asked him like, "What's your favorite drink here at the bar?" And the guy was like, "I don't drink." And he said it like in a snarky way. I was like, "Well, motherfucker, why are you working behind a bar, you dipshit?"
It'd be okay if he was like an AA.
But he was like a dickhead about it. He was like, "I don't drink."
Yeah.
Like, he was judging me. He's like, "Don't judge me."
Yeah, so then,
child.
After that, we go around, we take pictures with like Madonna's like gloves and all this stupid shit like that.
We need to upload that or post it.
And we go to, we go down the street to some bar and we walk in and they've got couches in a bowling alley / bar. It was like the coolest thing ever, especially if you're kind of buzzed. We go in, so we sit at these nice fancy couches, and it was like $40 for one game of bowling.
Yeah,
but we went ahead and did it, and we were drinking, and these waitresses like at this bar, they were all like short little hot girls.
They were hot, dude,
with tattoos,
no
like
shit.
Arm to shoulder tattoos.
Felt like I was in Drive. I needed a toothpick and a jacket with an angel.
Yeah, but Katie got mad at me.
Well, she did. Your wife got pissed.
I went to order some wings, and the girl was like. I was like, yeah, I'll have 12 wings, bone in. And
do it right. She was trying to give a subliminal message.
And I was like, just as hot as you can make them, make them as hot as you can. It's like I always do. And she's like, are you sure? Because they're really hot. I mean, they're hot.
Did I just ask for them?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. So I expected something, monumental. Yeah. And I go to take a bite. I was like, this isn't shit. It's like Tabasco. It's not even barely hot at all. And I asked her, I was like, you guys, was this the hottest? Can you guys make these hotter? And she was like, I mean, we could put some like red peppers on it, I guess. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it. But no, I went to order a drink because we were waiting for our drinks at the bar.
She said, don't worry about it. Show me a boobie.
I went to order.
Is it tattooed?
It's titty trailer time. I went to the bar to get a drink, and there was another one of those little blonde hot chicks with the tattoos, and that's my style. If you know me, I like chicks with tattoos, like little punk rock chicks. That's my deal.
These girls weren't like ugly at all.
No, they weren't. Far from it. But now I'm talking to her about it's in Louisville, so I'm talking about UK, and she's dissing Calipari, and we're talking back and forth, and Katie comes up there and she's like, it's your turn to bowl. What are you doing? And
basically,
like, shit.
That's translation is like, get the fuck back to the alley and bowl your fucking balls before you put it in that bitch. that's what that means.
And my wife never gets jealous.
Yeah,
I think it's because she knows that I like those like punk rock chicks or whatever. But no, that was a fun time. We had party bus. We drove an hour and 20 minutes away to Louisville, and that was just a good time. I don't know what the point of the story was there. But
I don't either. But I'm glad you brought it up because I will say
that's what it is. Basically, the moral of the story is if you don't go see The Host, you'll have a great time doing whatever the hell else it is that you decide to do.
That's a good point. I will say that I got to talk to a bum on the side of Louisville. Yeah, dude, you didn't know it. When you all were getting shoes, I went outside to smoke. Because
bowling shoes.
I'm a dickhead, yeah. We're getting bowling shoes. And I went outside to smoke, and a bum walked up and started looking at the TV that was playing on the outside of the plexiglass.
Yeah.
And he started asking me a question. He's like, hello, you. And I didn't understand what he was saying. And I was like, yep, mm-hmm. And I started smoking, and I was afraid he was going to be like, give me your fucking money, or something like that. Yeah. But he just stood there, and he was like looking at the TV.
Maybe he just wanted a sandwich, Jay.
Well, if I'd had the money to give him a sandwich, I would give him a sandwich.
You totally had the money to give him a sandwich.
Dude, I will say this. I felt like after we left that fucking bar, that the only person that could bowl at that bar was Tony Stark. it was ridiculously overpriced.
That's the thing. It was well, not just the pricing, but just as far as bowling goes, like the whole thing. Normally when you have glow bowl, like the arrows are lit up, but the arrows weren't lit up at all. So we were just like, I had the highest score, and my score was like a 77. So,
I think the moral of the story should be, if you've been drinking and you want to go to a bar or bowl or whatever it should be, make sure you know the freaking price.
Oh, I know, right?
Before you go in.
That was
because
ugly.
we were already kind of buzzed when we were walking the streets of Louisville. Walking in Memphis. It's like, we weren't wearing blue suede shoes. We were just walking, and we found this bar, and we went in, and we were just already buzzed, so we spent the money, but it was like, you better be fucking Bruce Wayne or Tony Stark to afford it.
For 4 of us to drink and bowl, and we had cheese fries and wings. That was all we ate.
We had mixed drinks and beer.
Well, yeah, I mean, we drank, but it was...
Because beer is
the
good.
Beer and food was $98, and
plus
the bowling game was $40. Just
that
to sit
was
there.
way overpriced.
So, for us, we're used to paying like $6 a pitcher for some watered down, nasty beer.
Yeah, we got a movie tavern which gets soapy beer.
Let's say that real quick. Movie tavern. Every time you go there, smell your glasses because it smells like the sponge. That
You know what kind of movie you're in for when you smell that fucking cup and it smells like soapy goodness.
Yeah.
You know that beer's
Just
going to
drink
taste
your
like
watered
soapy.
down beer out of the soapy goodness.
Is there other movie taverns besides what we got?
Yeah, they're all over
right,
the place.
well, yeah.
So, but anyways, on to You're Next. It's about this family.
So that all fucking came from You're Next.
Yeah. So You're Next. This family goes and they're having a family reunion, and these guys show up and they basically do the strangers thing, which is try to fuck with them.
Panic
and they're
room.
all wearing like wolf.
Richard Nixon masks.
No, that's not Richard. They're wearing animal masks.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they're fucking with them. It looks pretty cool. I mean,
I'm not like I'm one of the weirder people that wasn't scared of the strangers. I ain't get scared of that shit.
it's just so realistic, dude.
I know it's
scary.
realistic, but I mean, at one scene, the guy shot the fucker with a buckshot, and he somehow magically disappeared from the doorway and didn't get hit.
Yeah.
It's a fucking human, and you have a fucking shotgun.
Maybe he moved.
He moved that fast with a buckshot that spreads out?
Maybe.
Well,
I could do it.
I want to know his lawyer because he's good. I don't know, man. I like those kind of movies, but they don't scare me. I think it's gonna be. I really think it's gonna be presented well. I think it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna sound good. I think it's gonna have great cinematography. But as far as story goes, I think it's gonna be. Personally, I think it's gonna be generic.
Whatever. No, I think it's gonna be good. The scariest movie to me is a home invasion movie. It's so realistic. It's whatever. Like that scene, even in Fear, with Mark Wahlberg. His fingers are on the roller coaster.
Wow.
Not that part, but no. Yeah. Remember when they're breaking in the house? He's like, "Let me in the fucking house."
I would love that.
That part,
great.
And then they're on top of like the glass ceilings, and they're like banging on the doors and stuff, and the lights go out. That freaked me the hell out.
I know, and that was a great movie. Here's a question for you: do you think that the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg was the first Strangers of its time that never gets the credit?
I don't know because there was only really that one.
Well, I know they didn't wear masks and shit, and they weren't. But do you think it was kind of like that home invasion that could happen?
That was the first thing like that I'd seen. Of course, Funny Games had been out before that. And Funny Games is one of the most disturbing
but the
films
most popular.
Ever. Yeah, no, I think that guy it registered with me. I was like, "This is scary. Why don't somebody do a movie?"
Fear is an underrated movie.
Hell yeah, dude! Fear's badass. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
We should review that one day.
Mark Wahlberg.
It's on Netflix.
Shit.
We'll do a Netflix nugget on it.
Funky Bunch, bring it.
You gotta get some Mark Wahlberg up in you.
Sweet Vibrations.
Wait,
I don't want to do that.
I didn't mean that.
I don't want
like
that.
Next trailer is going to be Rush with Chris Hemsworth. It's directed by.
I don't know.
Tell me.
It's great. Chris Hemsworth directs it as well.
No, he doesn't. It's the
Michael
directed.
Bay?
No, he directed Beautiful Mind. What's his name?
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
I can't think of his freaking name. It's Ron Howard.
Ron
Howard.
Fuck yeah!
That's what
it's a Beautiful Mind on Wheels.
Really great movie review.
John Nash. Well, just because we can't remember one.
But
director.
no, it's a true story racing movie about the IndyCar racer that I don't know the actual true story. I'm going to be honest with you. But as far as this trailer goes, it looks like it could be a good movie. Like I said, it's Chris Hemsworth. It's directed by Ron Howard. But racing movies, man, let's go through it real quick. Racing movies really don't do that well.
I think it's Days of Thunder updated.
Well, Days of Thunder is like the last racing movie to do good, except for Talladega Nights.
But that was a comedy. That's a comedy. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, serious racing movie. When I think of serious, Days of Thunder is the pinnacle for me. Well, I think that's a fucking great movie.
But I think that was the last time a critically acclaimed movie had success in the box office.
You know what?
About racing. Drive.
Well, I mean, I was talking about like a racetrack kind of movie. Okay, do it around the track, Hot Wheels. I just think that Ron, it could be a good movie. I'm not saying it won't be a good movie. Ron Howard's an amazing director. He knows how to fucking make a movie. A Beautiful Mind does it every time. For me, make it feel good. I don't know. It just makes me feel. I don't know.
Did you go to a dark place?
I did. Let me get out of it. Digging it. But This movie to me just looks like Days of Thunder mixed with A Beautiful Mind with some seriousness into it. I don't know. I guess if you're a big race car fan, like maybe it would be like it's stock car racing.
Yeah,
it's not NASCAR, and which I don't know shit about.
I don't know shit about it either. But I mean, I think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be one of those movies that's kind of. It seems like it's going to be underwhelming. But once you watch it, it's probably going to hit you hard.
It's got a gay stuff, but I would say that instead of Chris Hemsworth, I would put Ryan Gosling in it. I think Ryan Gosling just looks the part.
Because of Drive.
And by the way, when I mean gay, I mean happy. So don't get your fucking panties in a twist. I'm just saying, I think Ryan Gosling, I know...
you only made it worse.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You said panties in a twist, you only made it
worse. Oh,
shit,
on a bucket. I'm not saying that homosexuals or whatever. I'm not even getting
Stop, dude. Just stop.
No, I'm not getting into that
let
argument.
It be what it is.
I'm not getting into that argument.
I'm not either.
I'm just saying.
But just let it be what it is.
All right. Let it be.
All right, so our next
people use the word gay.
So what do you think you're going to give... what do you think...
No, you're fucking dismissing.
What do you think
let me finish it out. I don't want to... Stop. I'll respect your hand. Let me finish this up. All right. I'm just saying. I think Ryan Gosling would work better in this movie than Chris Hemsworth.
I think Ryan Gosling would work better than anything.
I think it's gay. Well, I'm using it in the fucking modern term.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I know it is. It's okay. You're making me confused. I think it's stupid that they're using Chris Hemsworth to be the leading role in this movie because he's popular. He's a good-looking guy. He just did Thor. He's a good actor. I understand he's in Cabin in the Woods besides Thor. But I think Ryan Gosling or somebody that was like not necessarily getting the attention he deserves should be in this movie.
You don't think Ryan Gosling's getting the attention he deserves?
Not as much as he should. Like, really, Gangster Squad was a turd at the box office. It was one of his bigger defining moments that he could have had. He didn't get it. Drive was an underrated fucking movie that came out in 2011. Yeah. That should have got movie of the year.
You know me, I'm like, I got a man crush on Ryan Gosling.
No, I know,
he's awesome.
But I really think, and I will say this: Drive of 2011 was the best movie period of 2011, and it didn't get the credit or the recognition.
Strong words.
It is. I really did. What movie came out?
I didn't even think you liked it that much.
I love Drive, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna like ejaculate on his face, but I think it was a great movie.
strong imagery.
Well, you know, I gotta be truthful.
All right, so our next trailer is going to be Carrie, which this looked like a piece of dog shit.
Look gay.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't care. I mean, you know, if you get that sensitive about it, fuck your butt.
Wow, really?
Well,
you're going to go with the FUB?
You know what?
You're going to go with the FUB?
I can be crazy. Dildos in the butt.
Dude, you just got a shovel and you're just digging. And you're digging.
You're scared of it.
Digging. I'm laughing, dude. I think it's funny.
No, you know what? Carrie. They already did Carrie 2, The Rage. You're like a little kid that heard the first time fart.
Oh, sorry.
Carrie 2, The Rage. I believe in gay marriage. But regardless of that, the Carrie 2...
This is what happens when you have an unedited podcast.
No, I really don't give a fuck. I'm not saying it like in a.
You don't have to tell me.
I know. I'm not saying. I'm just telling them.
I know.
I'm not trying to say it in an offensive way.
What you're trying to say is that you love gays.
Why are you bringing this on me?
You love. If you're
talking about the 18th century happy times. No, you know what? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's used in the modern term as when someone says it's gay. It's not saying it's stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
I know.
Carrie. Sometimes you just gotta have the balls to put it out there.
Really?
Are you talking? Everything's gonna be like a gay thing.
It sounds like it is.
Because you think it is.
Okay.
Obviously, you got balls on the brain.
Carrie
so
looks
that's
like
cool.
me. Carrie looks like shit.
Carrie 2: The Rage was the remake to me when they came out the sequel for Gary.
Yeah.
Carrie the remake, I think, is going to be one of those slap up really quick, trying to make a buck on it, and that's about it.
Well, I think I like the actresses in this.
Not Julie. I almost said Julie Roberts.
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
She's hot, dude. She's got one of those like. She's not like.
She's got one of those things. I'm down for it. Like whatever you want to do, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Like, well, if you want to fucking look at me strangely,
she's not quite homely, but she's not like standard hot, but she's really hot.
I want her to look at me when I was like, "Do you want to do it on the side of a building in a window washer carriage?" And she looked at me like she did in The Awakened or the Taking. I mean,
The Taking,
The Taken, whatever it's called.
What are you talking
What's it called? Disappearance? The bitch...
Children of Men?
No, when the aliens took her kids, or whatever it was.
The Forgotten?
The Forgotten.
Is that what it?
The Awakened is better. The Forgotten. The way she looked in The Forgotten, when she realized that the aliens had taken her kids, or whatever, I want her to look at me like that when I say I want to do it on the side of a building with window washers, like... and you know it's going to happen.
Would you be washing the windows, or
I'm going to wash the windows, and then we're going to have sex
with her butt cheeks?
We're going to have sex on the butt cheeks.
Oh my God. Okay, and I like Chloe Grace Moretz, or however you say her name.
Yeah.
But, and I love Carrie. I think Carrie's a great film. But, dude, this remake looks like shit.
Well, I mean, you know what? I think Carrie's a great movie. I think it's a great story. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
But I just don't think it needs a remake.
No, it doesn't need a remake.
Because
in the trailer, they showed all the main
What would you do if the trailer was not for Carrie, which is a Stephen King classic, but for the Shining remake?
No, don't remake The Shining. Don't remake any of that shit.
You know
Carrie doesn't need a remake because Carrie is one of those movies like you notice it when you're watching the trailer. Okay, like Carrie has it's a lot of like what's the word I'm looking for? Suspense feel. Like you're waiting for stuff to happen. Like it's brimming under the surface. So when you do a trailer in today's world, you can't have that. You've got to show the action. So when you're talking about a movie,
bring the action.
When you're talking about a movie that only has 1 to 2 like hardcore scenes and the rest of it's just build up. They showed those scenes in the trailer and gave it all away. And not just to say that, but the lighting in this movie, the trailers, the movie was bright. It was so bright, and it looked like a freaking Disney TV show.
We could totally go into detail about how much trailers give away anymore.
Well, yeah,
but I don't want to do that. But I'm just saying, I think Carrie was one of those movies that was great for its time. I just don't think it ever needs to be retold.
No.
I think if you want to see it, go back and see the original, and that should be the end of it.
Because it doesn't need an update.
It becomes. We're
going to add cell phones.
It becomes Degrassi.
Yeah.
The Canadian.
No, I give you that. So I'm not looking forward to Carrie at all.
How about never mind. I was going to say something I forgot.
This is the end. That movie
the
looks
show?
like fun. Yeah. No.
Yeah, apparently John what's the guy that played the frigate.
You're falling apart over here, man.
No, I'm not. Jonah Hill's opposite.
James Franco, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen.
No,
you talking about the dude with the mohawk from This Is 40? I Always Aim Right?
No, not that guy. That guy's great. I don't mind him. He was in A Sorcerer's Apprentice too.
Yeah. Joey Burchell or whatever it is. But no, I think that this movie...
I'm trying to think of what I was going to say, though.
I know, but...
Well, we can think of it.
What is it, man?
Superbad. He was the opposite.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Okay.
Apparently, Michael Cera, I don't know how I couldn't remember that. He actually slapped Rihanna's ass, which is amazing. And she told him...
I want to slap Rihanna's ass.
She said...
Whoop my dick!
You want to do like Chris Brown? You want to slap her in the face?
Oh, stop it.
What?
You stop it. You stop it right now, mister.
Speaking to your microphone.
Chris Brown can... I hope he...
No, but he said he's going to slap her in the ass. And then she said, well, if you really slap me in the ass, I'm going to really slap you in the face. And apparently that happened. Like, she slapped him in the face fucking real. And even, like, Seth Rogen was like, damn.
I would have taken that.
And then he was like, smoke some weed with me and you'll feel better. Because he's all about weed.
If she smacked me in the face, I'd be like, I love the way you lie.
This is the age of Aquarius.
When a tornado meets a volcano.
I'd be like, Rihanna, let's just go to my room.
Go to your battleship.
Let's talk.
But no, This Is the End looks like a freaking hilarious movie. It reminds me a lot of The Watch, which most people hated that movie, but we loved it.
I love The Watch.
Yeah, it was great. But I think that's going to be awesome. It's about, like, they all go to this party at James Franco's house, and they are who they are in real life in the movie. Like, they are Seth Rogen and this stuff. They go to this big party at crazy-ass James Franco's house, and the world starts ending around them, and then you deal with the plot of what happens with that. But I think that's one of my most anticipated
You know what
movies.
I'm kind of scared of is I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be funny for us and for people that are, like, sharing our kind of humor.
Yeah.
But I think the critics are going to bash it.
Probably.
I see that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I'm going to love it, though.
And that's a shame, dude, because I really think The Watch was such an undeserved movie to get, like, that kind of bashing. I just don't get why people hated it so much.
I think I had low expectations for it going in, and I think maybe that helped. But I loved it. It seemed like it was like a poor man's Ghostbusters.
I know, and that's why I loved it best. But I thought Vince Vaughn was back to his like element.
Well, because he was so excited in this movie, like he felt like he was rejuvenated. Like everything he touched, he was excited about. Like remember the Chinese eggs or whatever it was. He was like, oh, there's another one.
It just keeps going. It just keeps. I don't know when it's going to stop. Yeah, like he looked like, or he felt like to me, like how he was in old school.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's just there.
I enjoyed
that. Great salesman.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie thoroughly. So the last trailer we're going to talk about today is Only God Forgives with the man.
I have no idea what happened in that trailer because I watched it. I saw Ryan Gosling looking like he did in Drive, just walking towards a camera with a red glow behind him, and then a Japanese man with a samurai sword cutting people up.
That's basically what it was. I mean, the trailer it's directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, who did Drive, and those two are paired up together again. And I think it's about Muay Thai boxing or whatever, with like I don't know if it's got like a gangster mafia feel to it or whatever, but. Basically, that's what the trailer was. It was Ryan Gosling brooding, and then some Japanese dude with a samurai sword.
How do you
fucking
pitch
shit
that?
up?
But that's probably exactly how the studio pitched it. What we saw the trailers like.
Yeah.
It's got Ryan Gosling in it. His face tells a story, and there's a Japanese man with a samurai sword chopping people up in the middle of the street.
$10 million.
And then the guy was
I'll
like,
take it.
The studio was like, I love it.
Yeah, some guy in the background's like, I don't really understand what you're talking about, and they're like, Bob. Shut the fuck up, Bob!
Ryan Gosling, I think that movie is going to be good.
I think it is too.
I don't think it's going to be bad.
I think it's going to be awesome. And his face looks fucked up in that one scene, man. He's like, his face is swollen, it's all beat up and shit. But he goes up, basically that's what it is. It's Ryan Gosling brooding, a guy with a samurai sword, and at the end of it, Ryan Gosling walks up to the guys and says, you want to fight?
Yeah, well what happens is you're not going to go up against a Japanese man with a samurai sword and not have your face fucked up. That's why his face is fucked up.
Not going to happen. No, sir.
Yes, Ryan Gosling wasn't wearing his Scorpion members only jacket from Drive.
Not in this one.
And I want a toothpick.
But so, all right, moving on. What did we watch this week? What did you watch this week?
Well, we talked about that earlier. I watched Evil Dead, the original. I started to watch Willow.
Yeah.
I bought that on Blu-ray, and I got like 45, 50 minutes into it, and I kind of got bored. Willow's a great movie. I just kind of got bored of it at the time because you got to be in the mood to watch those movies or that kind of movie. And then I played BioShock Infinite, beat that.
I got a tinkle, so you can just continue to talk and.
Okay.
All right, Garth.
And all right, I'm not Garth. Okay. Get that straight. I'm Garfunkel. What I will talk about, though, what I did do is I read up on the next Xbox. And I didn't want to mix this genre with video games and stuff like that, but it was one of the articles that came up in Yahoo trending, and I read about it. And there was a real big concern about the next Xbox 720, being always online. So that was a huge debacle, and people like getting bitching about that and getting crazy about that. I don't think they're going to do that. I think that will be maybe an option in the next Xbox to where your console will be always online. You can choose, or you can choose to have it like single player, not online, whenever you feel like it. So that was interesting. And then I also looked at there was big news about the Xbox 720 having. If you put your disc in...
You put your dick in.
I said disc. But if you want to put your dick in it, by all means, try it out. Let me know how that goes. I'm on the next level. No, if you put your disc in, you have to... Like, apparently what it is you have to burn your disc to the hard drive, and then you would take your disc out and play your game. So you wouldn't even really need the hard or the disc, but you'd still pay $60 for it, which would also eliminate you trading it into game stuff like that. But... what I've heard now is that you will put your disc in and then you'll burn it to your hard drive, which will be a requirement, but you still have to have the disc to play the game. So it's not like you're going to buy a $6 game and not even need the disc. You're still going to need the disc to play, so that's all false, I think. I don't know. I just read a lot of shit. I was bored. I read about the next Xbox, PS4. It's going to be an exciting time in July.
I sold my Xbox 360 recently.
You're a fucking devil.
I know. I was like... I'm all about gaming stuff. I'm usually a sports gaming guy and Halo, but I sold it because I was like, you know what? Between the channel, all that's going on, I never have time. So I was like, why not? I'm just going to get rid of it and see if I can grow up a little bit. But I'll just go over to Jay's house.
You sometimes never grow up.
I just want to go to Jay's house and play games.
Well, maybe
that's what I'll do.
Maybe you made me feel bad by saying you need to grow up, so maybe I'll grow up.
I'm all for it, man. I'm just saying.
Fuck it! I don't want to hear your excuses.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing video games. I love video games.
Your mouth keeps on talking,
all
but
right.
I don't hear it.
Shut up. So all right. That's what you did this week.
Yeah.
And I watched a shitload of movies. I was trying to get prepared to do that Netflix show. I hit Netflix hard this week. I watched 8 Men Out.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you punch it?
I don't know.
It needs to be there.
Needed it. But I watched 8 Men Out, which is this is John Cusack's in that. It's about the 1919 World Series that was fixed by the Black Sox, is what they called them.
No, I was there, so it wasn't.
Yeah, I know you were there.
I didn't fix.
But yeah, no, like this team gets treated like shit. They're treated awful. They don't get paid, but they're the best team around. So they decide to take a bribe and take a fall in the 1919 World Series. So half the team wants to, the other half doesn't. And it's a pretty fun old timey baseball movie if you're in the mood for baseball, because baseball's starting now. We got 42 coming out this week. But no, I'd give that movie an 8 out of 10, man. I enjoyed watching it a lot. I felt fucking terrible though for John Cusack.
John Cusack's one of those guys that he pretty much. Not all the time. He does great movies. Like John Cusack's really.
Sometimes he does.
I think he's an underrated actor, though.
Yeah, but sometimes he does a turd.
Oh, he does a turd.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I felt so bad for him in this movie because he was the one guy that was like, he's like, I just love baseball. He's like, I'm not trying to be crooked or anything like that. I just want to win. And he got screwed along with everybody else. And the end of the movie pisses me off, but I still give it an 8 out of 10. Other than that, I watched a movie called Primer, dude. A lot of people talked about this movie. Someone asked us to review this on Netflix Nuggets a while back. We never got around to it. Primer, you would freaking love this movie, man. You would love it. It's a low budget movie, and it's mostly dialogue.
Yeah.
But it's just two dudes, and they're like scientists or whatever. Like they work for a company, but then they do work on their own in their garage or whatever. And they start working on this project, and what it is, it's starting to fall out. They're starting to realize this is a time travel issue. Like that this is doing shit that we've never heard of before. They kind of stumble upon it in a way, and it goes through like how it goes through all the intricacies of time travel and like the paradoxes, all that shit like that. It's a lot like Lunopolis, only like way more dialogue driven, way more specific about how they did it and what you would do, like how you would go back and get your money. Would you do stocks? Would you do lotto, stuff like that? Only thing I'd say bad about this movie, man, is that it is confusing as shit. 40 minutes into this hour and a half movie, I had no idea what the hell was going on, man. And I talked to Joe Caldwell of Caldwell 3 does horror movie reviews. You got to check him out.
Good guy.
Yeah, and he was like, he loves it. He was like, I had to watch it several times to understand what was going on. And a lot of people, it's like a cult hit. They watch it over and over again to understand. I was completely fucking lost. You need to watch it and tell me if you figured it out.
The thing with the movies that you have to watch over and over again is like, get that shit right the first time.
Trust me. I'll give you $100 if you can get this movie
You know what? I'll give you $100 if you watch fucking Love and tell me how you feel.
I don't want to watch that piece of shit.
Burn your brain.
But yeah, time travel just pisses me off, man. I always get confused. But this one especially, if anybody can explain to me what happened in Primer, please do so below, because I'm totally lost. But yeah, no, I'd still give that movie like a 7 out of 10. But other than that, I watched House of Cards, dude, is fucking awesome.
I've heard great things about it.
It's got Kevin Spacey. The first couple episodes are directed by David Fincher. That movie, like, he plays this politician and he like plays everybody to get him to do exactly what he wants. That I watched all I've never done this with a show before. I watched all 13 episodes in a day and a half. That is sad.
The interesting thing was Kevin Spacey and them. They had an interview. I remember watching the interview. They said they did House of Cards they did all of them at one time, and they released it at one time on Netflix.
Yeah.
Basically they did a whole freaking season.
Yeah.
And then
they're working on the second season now.
Yeah, so you could watch it at your own, leisure.
Yeah, dude, he's a badass.
I want to watch it because I really want to, because
it's addicting.
I love Kevin Spacey, especially if you said he mentioned that he was like he was an American Beauty.
He went right. Yeah, he was just like he was an American Beauty. Like he's done shitty movies. Like he was a terrible Lex Luthor on Superman Returns.
Yeah, because he played it too jokey.
Yeah, but in this, like he talks to the camera. Like you remember in American Beauty how he had that narrative going on over top of it. It's kind of like that, but he's a bad guy, but you're still rooting for him. It's just an absolute badass show. I'd give that show a 9.5 out of 10.
I would love it. I'm gonna watch it.
But no, I watched Bully. You've seen that on Netflix.
Oh, fuck, that movie.
That shit pissed me off.
God, I don't even want to talk about that. That movie's such a horrible fucking movie.
These fucking
documentary is what it is.
These goddamn kids on this goddamn bus. There's this kid there, and they call him Fish Lips because he looks funny.
These fucking steaks in this fucking bus.
They choke him, they fucking punch him, they do all this shit to him, and then the superintendent at the school looks at the parents, and she goes, you know what? I've been on that bus, and those kids are good as gold.
You know what?
I wanted to slug her in the face, dude. I was by myself in my living room, dude, and I was like, "Oh, you bitch!"
Was that on? Did you pay for it?
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, see, I paid for it. I actually watched it on Amazon, whatever.
Yeah.
I paid for like $5 when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was awful. Yeah.
You ate all the cheese?
It was fucking stupid.
You ate all the cheese in the fridge?
Cheesing fucking it. No, dude, it really pissed me off. And it was one of those movies. It's a documentary, but it actually highlights what the problem is with bullying. I think it does a pretty good job with it. I think the little kid that's getting bullied the most, the one with the glasses and stuff, I don't know. It's really sad. Like, it's one of those movies that are sad, but it'll piss you the fuck off.
It will piss you off. And the only thing I'll say bad about this movie is, like, there's a couple of kids to where you're kind of like, you don't sound like you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like, they just saw the camera there, and he's like, yeah, this and this and this happened, and this happened.
Yeah, I know. I got that too. Sometimes like one day, a person smacked me in the ass, and I told me to call them Angel.
Like the kid that stands up.
Shit.
You know the kid that stands up when they're having the town meeting, and he's like, so and so happened.
I hate that shit.
He was all over the camera, and it kind of made me question what he was doing. But no, apart from that, like, I mean, it's
well, you know what pissed me off? I know what you're talking about, that scene at the end when they have the town meeting. That kid just looked like he was trying to grab camera time.
Exactly.
Like he wants to be like the savior and make, this is going to be on movies and TV, and people are going to know me and say he's a great kid and he's trying to make a difference. But that's not true.
It's just
why the fuck did you wait for the cameras to be on you to do anything?
Yeah, I don't know. The movie will piss you off, and I mean, it's the truth. I mean, there's nothing. What are you gonna do? I mean, what can you do? Kids are assholes.
And it makes me pissed. I mean, are you pissed like because they're bullying, or are you pissed at yourself like saying that you want to smack these kids around like bitch?
I'm pissed because of both, and honestly, it's a good movie because it without getting too serious, it does a good thing for sociology. Because after you watch this movie, man, whether you're older and you're at work and there's some guy that gets picked on at work or whatever, it makes you want to be like, I'm going to be that dude's friend because that must suck. Well, not that you wouldn't want to do that anyway. I'm just saying, like, maybe, hopefully, there's a few kids that would normally pick on someone or not do anything that after watching that, maybe you'll be like, you know what?
Well, you hope so.
Life sucks for this guy.
Well, the only thing is like at the same time, you also, what pisses me off the most is like not even the kids that were taunting the little kid with the glasses, but the fact that nobody did shit.
Yeah.
Somebody was like filming. I mean, the camera crew obviously said, at one point in the documentary they had to reveal what was going on because it was escalating the violence towards this kid.
And that fucking bus driver, all she did was look right at him and smile.
I know.
She didn't do shit.
But no kid on the bus, and I understand what it was like to be, 14, 13 years old and not want to get involved, but come the fuck on.
I was bullied in middle school. I mean, not to that extent, but...
I mean, I was bullied too. I was bullied my elementary school and my freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So I understand what that's like.
That's how we became friends. I used to kick Jay in the nuts.
You never touched me.
I know, I'm just kidding.
You didn't touch me! No, I mean, but yeah, I mean, everybody, I think, well, maybe not everybody.
But watch. If any of you guys have kids, teenage kids, whatever, show them that film.
I think it's a good movie for everybody to watch just to let them know what the realities of bullying is.
Yeah, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because I think it could have went further, and I think, like I said,
think it could have been longer. I think it should. I think it should have been more of an expose on what bullying actually is and what it does.
Yeah, it's such a widespread issue that they could have done more with it, but it was still good. I watched Evil Dead 2, and we'll get to that. We'll go ahead and let that lead us into our review of Evil Dead. We reviewed this on YouTube already, so if you guys have seen that, you've seen it. But we wanted to talk about it a little bit because we got a little bit of hate for it, just a little bit, not too much. Most people were respectful and they were like, "I don't understand why you didn't like this, this, or this," and that's awesome.
The last update we had, or the last thing we checked on the channel, we had 30 likes and 6 dislikes, and we had some comments that were basically saying we didn't get the pacing of the movie, we didn't get the presentation of the movie. That's stupid. That's dumbheads.
Well, I mean,
because I understand. No, I get what they were trying to do. I understand. I'm not saying that the person that said that was stupid or dumb or whatever. Because if you enjoyed the movie, that's awesome for you. I'm glad that you had a good time seeing it with your friends or whatever. But I just don't. I think the movie tanked, or it didn't tank, but I think that it felt like it needed to go with the gore and the PR marketing to get asses in the seat. And they needed to go with the Evil Dead name to get asses in the seat. And that's really all it was in the end.
Well, for me, I mean, and this is what I love about our channel. Like, for the most part, you've always got that one troll that comes running along that says something. But for the most part, everybody's, respectful of each other's opinions.
I love that.
We're respectful of other people's opinions. And, 6 dislikes, 30 likes isn't bad at all. I'll take that.
No, I'll take
that any day of the week. But we're one of the few people, what we're saying is, that didn't like this movie. We didn't like Evil Dead. We weren't impressed by it. And even some of our good friends and movie reviewers and stuff was like, how did you not think that was good? And that's, like I said, that's what's awesome about our channel. We can talk about it and discuss. And let me say this first off. Thinking about it and thinking about it more and watching it again, my rating may even go up. I gave it a 4.5. And the thing about this movie is, if it wasn't titled Evil Dead, and if I didn't have so much hype, I had so much expectation for this movie. Not that it was going to be like a classic film, but the gore, I thought it was going to gross me out. I thought it was going to freak me out. I thought it was going to be scary. And from all the stuff I'd heard about it, I had really high expectations going in. So I'll be the first to say right now, if this movie was not titled Evil Dead, and I just went in not knowing anything and watched it, I'd probably give it a way higher score.
Well, that's what
I'm just being honest.
That's what I was saying earlier. I think that it based its success, hit or miss, on the Evil Dead title. And if they hadn't named it Evil Dead, if they hadn't conjured up all this PR press, like the most terrifying movie you will see in decades.
That's bullshit.
The goriest movie you've ever seen, the most disturbing movie you've ever thought of. If they hadn't done that and tried to get people in the seats just by that PR marketing bullshit, I think I might have liked it better.
Yeah.
But because they did all that and they tried to lure people in, I think I didn't. I gave it a 5.0, which is an average score. I might have liked it better. I'm not saying the people that liked it have a wrong view of it, because they understand.
And absolutely, if someone asked me today, if they say, should I go see Evil Dead, I'd say yes, go see it, because you know what, we're in the minority. A lot of people love it, and I wouldn't ever want to steer someone away from seeing a movie that most people love. Like, well, I'm glad that other people loved it.
My point is, though, if you like that kind of stuff, if you think it was good, if you like the Evil Dead, the original, I think you should go. I think it would benefit you to go see it, because it's part of the Evil Dead franchise, regardless of whether or not you liked it or not. It's still part of the.
And it's a fun movie to see in theaters.
But at the same time, don't go in and expect it to be this larger than life, movie that defines the decade for horror.
If you're a horror fan, you're not going to pass out.
No,
you're not going to walk out, and you're not going to freak out over this movie.
I will shit my Fruit Loops at a horror movie, a really good horror movie. I will shit. But for me, this movie was just one of those movies that were like, I mean, when I watched these gore scenes, and I was just like, I've seen that before. I've seen that done a million times before. It's not disturbing. It's not gross. Well, and maybe that says a lot about me, or maybe it says a lot about people that didn't feel they were affected by it, because maybe I'm just an asshole that is desensitized to that kind of stuff. But I didn't get it.
For me, it was like a checklist, dude. You go in and I'm like, okay, I can see that this is kind of fun. It's not scary. So it's not scary. You check that off the list.
Yeah.
It better be really gory from everything I've heard. It better be shocking and like a spectacle, like a ride, like the first Evil Dead was. It was just like a ride. That's what made that movie so good. You're watching it and you're just like, God, anything could happen. This is so fun. Watching Evil Dead, I didn't feel like that. I felt like there were still rules. Because they're the scenes in the trailer, like the face cutting and the puking and stuff like that. When I saw the trailer for that, I thought, okay, when I go to see this movie, it's gonna dig deeper into that. I'm gonna see her actually cutting her face off. It's gonna get super gross, and it never did. It cut away from all that shit.
Do that face.
Yeah.
What I honestly thought was gonna happen, I was going to have a panic attack. That's what I was going in expecting. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to be like in the middle of the movie like, oh my God, I can't handle this shit. I'm going to shit my pants. If I don't leave, I'm going to shit my pants. And like, no, dude, it's going to be okay. And then I'm literally going to shit my pants. And then I'm going to walk out with a brown smudge on the back of my pants. But then there's going to be like 6 people in front of me with brown smudges. And be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
I shit my pants, but that was amazing. I smell like a sewer. But I'm glad.
At the start of the movie, everybody was clapping.
Yeah.
Everybody was excited.
There was like one guy at the end, though.
At the end, maybe one guy clapped. Everybody kind of held their heads down and walked out of our theater and looked just pissed. I heard one guy be like, "I'm not even going to recommend this shit to anybody." Like for the lead up, for the build up that you had for this movie, it was really disappointing. And I think for the people who saw it first, before all the critical acclaim and stuff came along, they were shocked by how gory it was, and I think we would have been too. I'm not too little of a man to admit that. I'll admit, if I had seen this movie without hearing or seeing anything about it, I may have liked it a lot more, but I did have expectations, and I can't help that.
Well, you know, my thing is I just think that there was just too much hype. There was just too much advertisement for it, saying it's the scariest movie of the decade, the goriest movie you've ever seen, the reviewers coming out, some of them saying that I had to leave the theater because it was so nasty. It was just so over the top. I couldn't stand to watch it. There was just too much of that kind of shit going on that people had an idea in their brain that it's going to be like this, and it wasn't.
Yeah. What pissed me off the most about Evil Dead was that I was bored.
Yeah, and the boring part came into it, but I'm not. What I want to. It just wasn't a movie for me. It wasn't a movie for you. It wasn't a movie for some of the other Evil Dead fans. But if you enjoyed the movie, if you thought you got, if you like, I get it, I liked it, I understand it, that's cool. I'm glad that you had a great time doing it. I'm not bashing anybody that had a good time doing it. But at the same time, just realize, to me at least, that a lot of the success that it's had so far at the box office has probably been due to the fact that it's got a great PR marketing behind it.
They did a great job with that. And thankfully, because I want to see more Evil Dead.
And you never know. I think that maybe if they had not focused so much on revealing a lot in the trailers, in the red band, it might have been better. If they had just not given away so much. And by the way, I'm going to fucking go ahead and snark this out there. Why the fuck, this is a spoiler by the way, so if you don't want to listen to this, don't listen to this. It's not really a spoiler, but why in the hell was this the cellar scene where she's like, we're going to get you not in the movie?
That's weird because
that's such a classic
we're
scene.
We're gonna get you.
Yeah.
That in the when we're sitting in the audience and the audience is filling up, it's packed. We're sitting there and the first look comes on, the Regal Cinema's first look, whatever, and it comes up and they had that scene updated. They showed it. They showed, like, while the camera was panning around and doing different things, they showed, you could hear the voice in the background saying, "We're gonna get you," you know, that whole thing right before the movie, and then you're watching the movie and it never happens.
Well, the only thing I came to the conclusion of, and I really just thought of it, the first cut of the movie was X-rated. It was NC-17.
Right, and I can't wait for the Blu-ray.
And so not Robert Rodriguez, but the guy that directed it,
Fede,
whatever his name was,
yeah.
He said that they had to go back and edit some shit down. So maybe that scene specifically had some really gory shit that happened, and they couldn't show it because they were going to give them the NC-17. They didn't cut that out.
But I thought that was what we were going to theater to see, and that's why I was so disappointed.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not going to see that. I'm not saying I'm not going to see that, just that cellar scene, but maybe it was just so nasty.
Yeah.
But you know what? I honestly, they should have just said, "Fuck the world, suck my dick," and made an NC-17. Just do it. Just make it the NC-17 movie.
It'd be nice, but I mean, at the same time, you can't blame them. The studios won't allow it.
Are you going to really?
Studios won't allow
16-year-old kids. I mean, they can make an X-rated movie. I mean,
they
can
could,
make
but I mean, I'm just saying, like, the studios won't allow it.
I just think sometimes they should make a movie that's just so over the top, like, for that kind of fan base.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it. It's Evil
Dead.
And
I honestly think that Evil Dead coming out and doing so well is going to spawn other super gory, super whatever remakes. And it might push that limit a little bit. I'm looking forward to it. But no, like, I thought Jan Levy, is that who you're saying right? Is that right?
Is that the girl? The main
think
girl?
that's
right.
Yeah,
I think that's right.
She was amazing.
I
thought she was great.
How about that?
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I thought she was great. Yeah, she was great. And you know, for a typical horror movie,
it's not your fault you overreact.
Are you serious?
Jay is tearing shit up on here, clicking away. But no, you know, it was a decent horror movie.
It's not your fault that you overreact.
But at the end of the day, it's not what it was built to be for me. And I think that's what made it so disappointing. So I gave it a 4.5. I thought that it had way too many boring parts for being an Evil Dead movie. It was way too serious. Like, the first film was serious, but it still had that element of anything could happen. This one didn't for me. Every time I would see something start to happen, I'd be like, this is about to get cool. And then the camera would cut away. And I'm thinking, that's what I thought this movie wasn't supposed to do. I thought the camera was supposed to stay on it. I thought it was supposed to get really, really graphic. And compared to the typical horror movies that comes out, yeah, it was more hardcore than those movies, but I've seen way more.
I agree.
Evil Dead, the original, had way more.
Well, I agree with you, and I think that the main problem with Evil Dead, the remake, was the fact that it was going in based on the name Evil Dead, and they had already hyped it up way beyond what they needed to hype it up.
Kudos to them for that. I mean, they
did a great marketing job, but at the same time, I think that people were expecting it to be one thing, and it wasn't what they wanted, and that was their fault. Like, they hyped it up, like I said, to be the decade's fucking defining horror movie. They said, this is going to be the scariest movie you've ever seen. The original movie was, I mean, first off, it was original. So it never, like, that kind of shit had never been done.
Yeah. And
it was home-makey kind of movie. It was charming in its own way. This movie looked great. It sounded great. It just didn't deliver at the end. There's a lot of things they could have done differently. I mean, first off, they concentrated so much on trying to make you shocked that they forgot the story that they had. They had a great fucking plot line with the whole I'm trying to detox.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know, they had a great idea, but they didn't follow through with it.
Yeah.
They had these characters.
Well, they focused on her goddamn brother.
I know.
For 70% of the movie, and who gives a shit? The guy was a terrible actor, okay? He was a terrible actor, and his whole story was stupid. Like, I always run away from my problems, but this time I'm going to stay here and face... I don't give a shit, dude. Let's focus on the goddamn demons. Let's focus on Jan Levy. Let's focus on that.
And I almost think that was because they felt like they weren't allowed to do Ash. They weren't allowed to do Bruce Campbell. They weren't allowed to do that snarky, smart alecky kind of guy anymore. Even if you can't name him Ash, which Bruce Campbell specifically said, I remember this, you cannot name any character Ash. I am
he's going to
Ash.
be back.
I know, but he said you cannot name a character Ash. You can't do a redo of that.
Yeah.
But maybe they felt like if they added too much snarkiness, too much smart aleckiness, too much funny in it, it would distance you from the violence in the movie.
Yeah.
But at the they wrote these lines that were so stupid and so out of place and so dumb that you were like, this is like basically they made the main character hero, the male in the movie, the brother, like a dipshit. He was the dumbest fucking character of all time. And I know you kind of agree. It was like, well, he's got to go to the basement and get this girl and bury her alive because it's part of the ritual. But that's fucking stupid. Every horror fan knows if the bitch is possessed, you don't go downstairs and get her. I don't care if she's your mother, she's your sister, whatever. You leave that bitch alone and burn her ass alive. Because if she's your sister or your mother, you're going to give her the death that she needs and give her peace.
Yeah.
Don't fucking... You're not going to be able to do it.
But my only...
Plus he read the same book.
I got to say to that, though, you can't technically say that, though, because in the end, he was right. By not burning... But this is spoiler alert, real quick. Skip ahead 20 seconds if you haven't seen the movie. But by not burning her alive and taking her outside to bury her alive, she came back to life. So technically, he made the right decision.
But that's fine. But the fact is, he lost a guy doing it. He lost a friend doing it because the guy went downstairs to help him do it. He lost a bunch of people. If he had burnt her ass alive like they did in the beginning, like the bitch that was possessed, the fucking father did that, he wouldn't have lost all his friends.
Maybe.
Well, and that's obvious. Yeah. If he had set that shit on fire.
But just the fact that she was possessed in the basement for so long of the movie made me mad because, like, she was the best part of the movie. And she spent 70% of the movie possessed and underground. Like... In Evil Dead, Ash was the best part of the movie, or Bruce Campbell was the best part of the movie. He didn't get possessed. He didn't spend his time as a witch or whatever.
Do you think Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, maybe they said make it your own movie, but they were kind of like, you got to stay within a guideline.
I don't know.
You can't go too far out.
Who knows?
You can't make it too funny. You can't make it this or that. Because
and honestly, I'm not mad that they didn't make it funnier and make it snarky, because if you were going to make an Evil Dead movie, I'd want it to be serious. And I want it to be really gory, but it has to be scary. If it's going to be serious, it's got to be scary. If you're going to make it gory, then you need to make it fun.
Are you excited about, though, them doing Evil Dead 2? Are you thinking that they're going to make you shit in your panties?
You mean Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell?
No, I'm talking about the guys that made this movie.
I'm excited for it. I don't think it's going to make me shit my panties, but I mean, I am excited for it.
Well, if you have a thong, it's just going to
anything
go
with the Evil Dead title on it, man, I'm down for.
I know, you know what? But that's like that kind of like fucking defeats the whole purpose, though. If you whatever title you slap on it, though, because it pisses me off because it's like, well, I'm gonna bank on the fact that it's the title that everybody's gonna go look at, and they're like, The Evil Dead 2, I've got to be there, and it's gonna be a shit
because
movie.
At least with this title, you know that they are forced to either be super gory or super whatever. Like, I don't hate Evil Dead the movie. The remake, I don't hate it. It was just really disappointing.
I just don't think it was what it was advertised.
And right now, it's my second best movie, horror movie that's come out this year behind Mama. But
it wasn't bad for a 2013 horror movie, as far as right now.
Yeah, because I mean, what do you have to compare to?
Yeah, but at the same time, I just don't think it was everything it was advertised to be. So that was a problem.
So, I mean, that's how we feel about it, guys. That's our Evil Dead little take there. But the only other things we really have to talk about, let's talk about Blu-ray releases real quick. This week, as far as today, Dick came out.
Do you want to watch the Kama Sutra How to Touch?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Like, there's nothing.
This was a completely empty movie week for Blu-ray.
I want to rent that Kama Sutra How to Touch.
Like 3D love
on
making.
Blu-ray.
But if you guys want to know a great site to go to look at for Blu-ray releases, just Google Blu-ray releases on Google, obviously, and it's like the first one. It's like Blu-ray.com pulls it up. That's a really great site to go to.
I always go to Amazon and go to new releases.
Well, do you now?
I like to do it.
You want a cookie?
Would you like some milk?
Last week, the Marvel Phase 1 Suitcase came out, which is badass.
I would love to get it.
I can't afford that shit.
No, dude.
Marvel, send us one and we'll do an open box.
If you fucking do $150 for a fucking, like movies you already got.
It is awesome.
It's great.
But we already own those movies.
I would love it, yeah. And you have it, though, and you're like, how would you justify it? It's like, hey, man, check out my Cosmic Cube. It's like, how much you pay for that? Like $150.
Like, oh, you're a fucking
idiot.
You're
a fucking bitch.
No, but I would honestly love to see one. And I wish if I could afford one, I'd still buy it.
I would, too.
It looks fucking badass. But other than that, last week, the Marvel Suitcase came out. That Thing You Do came out. I still haven't seen that movie.
That's a great movie. You got to watch it.
On Blu-ray. And John Dies at the End came out.
I don't want to know about the end.
Yeah, it's Paul Giamatti. I want to see that movie. I don't know why I haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, that came out last week. This week, guys, absolutely nothing. But in the theater this week, coming out, the big release is obviously 42, the Jackie Robinson story.
Yeah.
We're excited for that. We'll have a review up for that Thursday evening. But what do you think you're going to give that out of 10?
42?
Yeah.
Probably, just based on the trailers, I'd say an 8.0.
An 8.0?
Yeah.
I'll be right there with you, 7.5 to an 8.0. The only thing I hope, those movies are always hard for me to watch, man, because even though it's true and it was bad back then, they make us white guys look so bad.
Like I told Mike, I was like, I just want to hug every black person if the movie's like that. If it's really laying on the racial stuff,
I'm sorry.
I was like, fuck my ancestors, fuck it.
Yeah.
Every one of you all should be pro players.
I know, it's hard to watch, just like that Glory Road. That was about our team. That was about Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know, but, so then you've got, other than 42, I think, like I said, I'm going to give it a 7.5 to an 8.0. Other than that, you got Scary Movie 5 and this dick shit.
6.0, dick shit's fucking nasty. That means you gotta go to the doctor. There's something coming out of my dick hole. And it's shit.
Someone shit on the coats!
What did you do?
I hope it wasn't my coat.
I fucked Candy.
What?
That would be a stripper's name. Scary Movie 5, I'm gonna say 6.0.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, a little bit above average because, you know...
You're a dick.
Yeah, dick shit.
Ew.
I don't know. I think it's going to be better than Haunted House.
I don't know, man.
Because, I don't know, it's a scary movie, so...
I'm thinking about a 2.0.
Wow.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, the first preview...
You have no faith!
The first
Go to
previews,
church.
the first trailers I saw for this were absolutely the worst trailers I've ever seen for
They
any
were
movie,
bad,
period.
yeah.
The one with Charlie Sheen, Lindsay Lohan, Black Swan, like all this dated movie shit.
But they've released new ones.
They've released new ones, and they actually seem a little bit funnier, where they're making fun of Sinister and like Mama,
50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, Mama, the little kid slaps her back.
Yeah.
Right? But those ones look funnier. But I don't have high hopes.
Well,
for this.
my thing is, I read an article about it. Mike Tyson is supposedly the leading cast member in 50 Shades of Grey. That would be hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
You know, and something like that. I think that the trailer was just really bad. I think they picked the wrong scenes. But it could be a good movie. I don't know. I'm just going to say 6.0, 5.5 maybe.
Oh, low hopes. My hopes are low.
Well, you wonder if you let that stain
Underwear?
touch your tongue, stained underwear touch your tongue after Haunted House. So you're going to go.
Haunted House will
Parody movies are overdone. I'm just saying, parody movies are really done.
Are. But and the other movie coming out in limited release is it'd be To the Wonder with Ben Affleck in it, and that's a Terrence Malick movie. If you watch Tree of Life, then you pretty much know what you're in for.
So, is this going to put me to sleep or is it going to put me in a coma? Which one?
It's gonna put you to sleep, and then you're gonna dream about hipsters.
I don't want to do that. Well, that's a fucking horrible movie.
Yeah.
That's a
no, I mean, it's got
1.0.
Ben Affleck in it. I love Ben Affleck. You know, I love the chin.
Yeah.
But Terrence Malick, dude, just make a fucking straight up movie. Like, why don't you? Why do you got to be just so out there? Like, to me, at some point, it reaches beyond art and gets into like stupid, like,
you know what,
self-indulgent territory.
We could have a whole conversation, probably for whatever we've been doing this podcast for, about friggin' artsy ass movies about why they have to show a tree and talk about every leaf.
That's what I'm saying.
And
like,
clouds and friggin' wheat and people running through it butt naked and how that's art. It's like Ben Affleck is running through a wheat forest area where there's wheat growing. It's basically wheat. He's in a farm. And
so what you're
there's
saying
golden
is
leaves.
There's wheat. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's wheats. And it's glowing.
Is he
and,
eating
and
mini
No,
wheats?
no, and his nipples are on fire. And his hair is fucking the golden sun. And there's 3 suns in the sky. And there's leaves that are golden brown. And he's like, why? And that would be the whole trailer. And people are like, that is the most artful fucking piece of shit I've ever seen.
But you know, you got those
I'm gonna
douchebags that are like, you're just not smart enough.
No,
to
I
understand
know.
it.
I get what they're doing. But
Like,
at the same time, it's like a waste of time.
Tree of Life sucked. It sucked.
I didn't like. I rented that and I got through 30 minutes of it.
I watched the whole fucking thing.
Well,
like
I'm
an
sorry
idiot.
for you.
I did. Yeah.
I want it to be good, but that kind of shit I just can't get
Yeah,
into.
so I mean, it's whatever. Terrence Malick, he made The Thin Red Line. It's a badass movie.
Yeah.
He's made good movies before. Now
I want to see the Thin Blue Line.
It's like he's gone too far off the rocker, man. It's just this shit's boring. You've got these great actors, and you've got what could be a great director, and I just want to see you make a coherent fucking movie out of it. And if you can't do that, then you're too fucking smart for your own good.
Because you could classify Donnie Darko as an
No.
artsy movie. You kind of could, because it is dark and it's art. Because it's got these scenes in it that
Yeah,
are
that's
weird.
fine. But all of a sudden, like, what if Donnie Darko, like,
No, I
they
think
showed his dreams and it was him swimming in a pool with like a bunch of clowns around? Like,
If it had Jake Gyllenhaal and it was Donnie Darko, I'd be down with it. My fact is I think Donnie Darko was shot well enough to be considered an artful
at least
movie.
it stayed within the same
Yes,
theme.
and I'm saying that could be considered an artful movie, but when you go out on the edge and you just want to fucking film like prairie scenes with Ben Affleck standing in the middle holding his arms up saying, I am the light, that is getting over the top.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
come
agree.
the fuck on.
I agree. Agreed.
Bill Mays.
Agreed.
Who is that?
Real quick, one trailer we forgot. We're just going to run through this topic really fast because we're running out of time here. Lords of Salem, Rob Zombie. Let's talk about it. That trailer looks like shit.
I don't know. We're going to say that next one.
The trailer looks like absolute shit, man. That's one we forgot to talk about in the trailers. He pulls his wife out in it again.
Sherry Moon.
She's the main star of it. It looks like it's completely void of any scares, completely void of anything, and why?
Rob Zombie is one of those directors that has the potential to be a good director, but the fact is he surrounds himself with people that tell him he's a great director and he's not doing anything wrong, and then he casts his freaking wife in every movie he does. I don't get him, man. I just don't get
Basically,
it. He can present a fucking movie well. He can give it that gritty, edgy look that people want, but at the end of the day, his storytelling method and the way he actually tells the story is fucking garbage.
Yeah, I know. It's like if you have a giant beard and you curse a lot, then you can be the main star in a Rob Zombie movie.
Because you are a Dragula. You dig through the ditches and burn the witches. But, like, Halloween 2, perfect example of dropping the ball, not working within a frame of greatness, and saying, I'm going to do this on my own with an established IP, and fucking up.
Yeah. That movie looks like garbage.
I think it's
going to be garbage.
Yeah.
And I'll go see it, but I think it's going to be garbage. So, thanks to Rob Zombie for putting out another shitty movie. But
get it straight, Rob.
Get it straight. I hope it's good, but it probably won't be. And then the only last thing we're going to have from now on in these shows, guys, what we're going to have is we're going to have question time, and that's another one. You guys give us a name for what you think the name of the question segment should be. We only have one question today.
Questions for your butt cheeks.
Put whatever questions you guys want to ask us. Put them below, and in the next podcast, at this point in the podcast, we'll answer those questions. So put your questions below. The only question we have for today is from our good buddy and great reviewer, Cobster Reviews.
Uh-oh.
You got to check that guy out.
What's
He's hilarious.
The question, fucker?
Yeah, the question from Cobster Reviews is this. And we're getting to... If you're not ready for some dirtiness, by now you've got to be. But if you're not ready for some filthiness on the channel, go ahead and turn us off.
Dirty
now.
pop insect.
But he asked the question, and he even knows how dirty it is. He was like, I'm not sure if I want to ask this or not, but I'm gonna. Would you suck a wiener for $1 million?
Are you asking if I would suck a dick?
That's his question. So we're not gonna
all right, let's
fade away.
All right, let's get some.
We're gonna answer it.
If I gotta suck it for fucking like a while, like I don't know.
Let's just say complete the job.
Oh, fuck that.
What if you gotta complete
for
the
$1 million
job?
$1
million? $1 million.
You talking about completing the job, spray in your face?
No, I'm not. I'm just.
Spray in your mouth.
I don't. Not. Ew.
You said complete the job.
Complete the job.
So what does that mean?
However you see
You're
fit.
Gonna spray it.
However
They're
you
gonna
see
spray
fit.
it in your mouth.
No, I'm not. Yeah, basically.
Right,
you don't have to say it like that.
Well, I gotta be honest.
There's children listening.
I gotta be honest. No, they're not.
Yeah,
if you're at this point in the video, good on you, because I'm sure some of them are left behind. If they gotta spray in your mouth and do the deed, if I gotta get on the job, $1 million is not gonna be enough for that, dude. It's just not gonna happen. For $1 million for them to complete it, no way.
Well, let me ask you this though: what if you didn't have to finish?
Well, like it would be a time frame.
5 minutes.
Shit, dude. Like, if you can't get off in 5 minutes with somebody sucking your wiener, like, come the fuck on. It's somebody sucking your wiener.
I'm just saying, 5 minutes.
For $1 million?
Yeah, $1 million.
I don't know. For 5 minutes, that's a long time, dude. That's a lot of therapy. That would be $1 million in therapy bills.
Yeah.
5 minutes? No, I can't do it. I can't do it for 5 minutes.
Would you do it for 2?
I don't think so. I think I do it for like 30 seconds.
You would do it for 30 seconds.
I think I do it for 30 seconds.
You heard it here, guys. Jay would suck a wiener.
What about you? Don't get over it on me. Don't avoid the question. You gotta answer it too.
I couldn't do it, dude.
You could do it for $1 million?
Not $1 million, maybe $10 million for like a minute. I could do it. If that was
you
your
fucking picked $10 million for a minute though.
Yeah.
I did 30 seconds for $1 million.
I'll do it for 12 seconds for free.
You're not gonna take that dick.
I'm not gonna take that.
The underarm. You like that? Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, it'd have to be at least $10 million just to put my
I'm
mouth
saying
on it.
$1 million for 30 seconds doing it.
Yeah.
If he's a go-getter and he's gonna
for 30 seconds for $1 million.
If he's a go-getter for 30 seconds and he does it in your face, I beat some ass.
Maybe it's a gamble. It's like a Russian roulette. Like you got to do it for 30 seconds. But if I do my business, then I do my business. That's the rule. You got to keep going for 30 seconds. What would you do?
That retro.
It'd be a test tube.
That retro fixes everything. That'd be 1 second for $1 million.
1 second.
If he said he was going to go at any time and he can't, no.
Well, no one's going to pay you $1 million to do it.
Well, you never know. You never know these.
That's just enough to piss you off.
Sick fuck.
But what if 30 seconds, $1 million?
Why are you asking me all of a sudden? I already answered my question first, so you answer the question.
I said it would have to be at least $10
You said
million
a minute.
for me
You
to
said
consider.
a minute for $10 million.
Because $1 million, like you can live off that for the rest of your life, but
I know
you
it's
still
not as
gotta
much
be frugal.
I know,
If I'm going to put a wee in my mouth, dude, I'm not going to be frugal.
But your initial reaction was 5 minutes for a fucking $1 million. Okay,
Yeah. I
So
just
you
wanted
were
to see how
thinking
far
about
you would
that.
go.
No, I would not do 5 minutes. Fuck that. Like I said, 5 minutes is
$1 million, though, man.
$1 million.
What if you haven't eaten in a week and you're really poor?
Well, then that's different. You suck a dick for $100. So that's totally different. If you hadn't eaten in a
what if
week
you were
and
hooked
you
on
were
crack?
fucking dying, so it's like, here, put my juke in your mouth and I'll give you $100 to let you eat for 2 weeks. Okay, well, I'll hate you for the rest of your life. You know you're going to hell.
I'll
but
just die.
We're gonna
You're
go
talking
to hell
about
anyway right now.
you're talking about from where we are. It's not like we're rich, but you're talking about like you wouldn't take $1 million for
30
now. But if you were
seconds.
hungry, you would do it for like a fucking
Yes, if you
Happy
had
Meal.
no money and you were living on the fucking Vegas.
You would do it for a Happy Meal.
Dude, if you were fucking dying of hunger, you'd be offering dick sucking. No,
I
to
wouldn't,
survive.
dude.
Yes,
No, I
you would.
would
You've
not.
never been hungry in your
I
life.
would just die.
But you would never be hungry in your life to fucking offer it.
If my only talent is to suck wee-wees, then what the hell
At the
future do I
point-
have anyway?
If someone's like, I'll give you $30 to suck
No.
my dick. You're dying and starved. This is getting really...
Like, not without
this is
dinner
really-
and a
but this
movie,
is really
dude.
getting into sociology, and I don't want to get any more further into it, okay? Because it's like fucking saying homeless people and shit. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm just saying for 30 seconds for $1 million, I'd probably do it for 30 seconds. But not if he was going to go.
But you're going to get a Happy Meal, and then 4 hours later, you're going to have to suck another.
That's the
dude's
most
wiener.
expensive Happy Meal if it's $1 million.
Yeah, no, not $1 million. If you're
Well, I'm
if you're
saying, if
pouring
you
on
were
the
poor-
streets, then you would take $1 million
No,
for
I'm
it.
not
Yeah,
saying-
I'm saying for a fucking cheeseburger, dude. If you were
You
hungry,
go to the dog
starved. If
menu.
you were starved,
If you go to the dog menu and you get $20, you get like 20 cheeseburgers.
I know. But if you're starved on the streets, on your deathbed,
Yeah.
if someone offered,
Why are you asking? You've not answered one.
I'm just asking you.
You've not answered
if
one.
If
No, I'm not gonna
I
answer
wouldn't do it.
anymore.
I just said I would just
All
die.
right.
But if you're on your deathbed and you're about to die, you had no future, and this guy offers you $20 for a freaking blowjob, dude, and he's gonna just you can feed yourself at McDonald's, like you said, you can buy 20 cheeseburgers or whatever
Yeah.
you want, but it's $20, man. Would you do it to stay alive?
I would feel like Leonardo DiCaprio in Basketball Diaries, but I would make the right choice and walk away because I'm not doing cocaine. If I'm gonna die anyway, if I'm dying, fuck it. I'm not gonna suck somebody's dick for fucking $20. Duke for $20. I'm just not doing it.
That's my advice. If you offered me maybe
If I'm dying anyway, why the fuck would I do that?
if you offered me a constant food source and maybe a job opportunity,
So if I could
Get
taste
it?
like a pickle,
Job opportunity?
If I could taste a pickle and like the cheeseburger taste right before I die, and then at the same time know that I sucked
so
a wiener.
basically what you're saying is that you would suck dick for McDonald's.
No, I'm not. Why? That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
I know.
You literally just said you'd suck dick from
So
McDonald's.
that brings the podcast to
Well,
a
why would you want to
conclusion.
suck dick from McDonald's?
Final thought is that Jay would suck dick for McDonald's, and
What are you talking about? You were the one that brought it up. You just literally said you suck dick from McDonald's.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
I said I would
You were
not.
thinking about it the whole time. You were like, I just said I would never suck dick for if I was on my deathbed for McDonald's. You just
Special
said,
sauce.
You just said you would suck dick from McDonald's, but you're trying to like put me in that place. But you were saying you would suck dick from McDonald's.
I did not say that.
It's very sad.
I said I wouldn't.
You want to suck dick from
I
McDonald's,
said I wouldn't. They don't even have anything good on their menu right now.
but you would. You considered it.
Is the
you
McRib
literally
out?
Just consider it. If McRib was out, you'd suck dick from
No, I
McDonald's.
wouldn't. I don't even like
That's what
McRib.
you said.
That's not what I
I
said.
can play this game too. You just said you suck dick from McRib. That's a selling point.
Would you suck
This
dick-
guy would suck dick for McRib.
Would
so
you
we gotta
suck
bring
dick
it out
for a
every
million
day.
subscribers?
For 1 million subscribers, depending on how much we would get on the back end.
You get a lot on the back end.
Oh, well. Suck that Michelob. Why do we do this? I hope you, if you guys have listened to this, I'm
I want
sorry.
some string G's. Ow! I
We talk about sucking dick and you want string cheese.
So, guys, that concludes our
So
podcast.
obviously you want a dick suck with clap.
That concludes our podcast for the day, the week of 4/9/2013.
Oh, shit.
I'm Mike and he's Jay. We'll see you next week on We Watched the Movie.
I'm sorry.
I don't know where the button is.
Click.
There it is.